Welcome back to Word of the Twist Tarot with me, Kevin. Today we're going to do another deck review, and this one is interesting because I was just scanning Etsy looking for something different, and I came across this deck here, and it comes in they ship it like in a box, like a cardboard box, and you have all these things inside of it. You have this little stickers they give you on like Kabbalah, as you can see here. It's very interesting. Wisdom Chariot, Wisdom Tarot. I'll put the link in the description below, but it's a pretty interesting deck. At least online. I haven't looked at it yet because it's still sealed shut, as you see right here. See the plastic on it still? I haven't opened it yet. So these are stickers you get with it. And then the direction book, or the guide, for lack of better terms, is interesting as well because it's actually pretty thick. It's like a little book. It's around 126 pages. And it goes over each of the cards, it gives you the author who created the picture, the meaning, the symbolism of it. And then also throughout this book, the author, ties this back to scriptures, which I find extremely interesting. So you can see here, he uses John 12:49, Revelation 10:7, etc., etc. The moon card talks about what it means, the purpose in life, and so forth. Walks you through how to read tarot cards. You can see right there. Anyway, I'm not going to go through this book much more, but it is a pretty interesting book. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and open this deck up and take a peek at these cards. Let me put it off to the side as well. All right, can we open this up easily? Okay. Here's the side of the box. It's called the Wisdom's Chariot. And that's Wisdom Chariot Tarot, I guess. It's in reverse too. Ours reverse. Pretty interesting. I do not know what I paid for it, but again, I got it on Etsy. I'll definitely drop a link for you in the description below. Okay, so the box opened. Pull the cards out. That card's a little bit messed up. I don't know if it's a little bit messed up, but not bad. There's the back of the cards you can see right here. They're pretty thick. Then we'll go through the majors and then the minors. Let me separate these out really quick. Okay, so we start with the Fool, Zero, and the Aleph. That's interesting. So the Aleph in Hebrew is interesting. It actually represents two Yods and a Vav, and what it means is it's the connection between the upper world and the lower world. And you see the character right here, the line, that's a Vav on a kind of like an angle, and the little things here, they're the Yods. So that's the two Yods, upper and lower, that connects the two worlds. It says that connects man to God or man to the divine, but that's what the Aleph represents. We have the Bet for the magician, and that's really is around the Bet's around the house of God. They say house of the divine or a home. That's where you see the word Av, the Aleph and the Bet together. It doesn't mean father. It means protector of the home, protector of the community, protector of the people. That's his underlying meaning, not father. So again, in the scriptures, when you read them, it kind of gives you a false narrative because it hides the meaning of words. When you say it's protector of a protector of a home, it has a lot more meaning than a dad. Okay, that's the magician. That's the one. The two, high priestess. Boy, I'm not saying these words very clear each time, am I? Three, the empress. That's the Dalit, and that's the doorway. What the actual letter represents right there. Emperor, the Hay. The high priest. I believe that's the Vav, looks like, and that's the 5. And that exactly what, remember I said the Vav connects the higher world to the lower world, connects the spiritual to the earth realm. That's what a high priest does. And the high priest is within you as well. Interesting card. The Lover's card. The Chariot. That's interesting. Strength. The Hermit, the Yod, the divine spark. the inspiration has to come from within, from the divine. That's wild. That's interesting. That's the Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune, the 10. Justice. The Hanged Man. Huh, that's the Mem. That's an interesting card because the Mem represents water, life, right? The mother, the womb. This is not a Mem Sophie, it's open, not closed. But that's interesting. You have the snake on one side. You have something that represents the Christ on the other. And the tree, that's a tree of life or something in the middle. That's an interesting card for the Hanged Man. Death. The Noon. Then we have Temperance, balance. The Devil, Iron, the eye, that's what it stands for actually. After the Devil, we have the Towers. That's a pay, the face. The Star. The Star steps on the dragon, called Hope and Faith relies on the star. The Moon. The Sun. That's interesting. Judgment, the Shin. You know what? I'm thinking about this. If you're interested, let me know if you want me to dive into these Hebrew letters. They have a lot of deep meaning. It's not just the letter by itself. Each thing, each, how to say thing, each stroke represents a letter, and then the letters represent the story of what the letter means. So when you look at this stuff, it's not just about a face value, you know, it has a lot more richer meaning. The world, that's the end of the Hebrew alphabet. It's like the apocalypse or something. Starts over back at the one. That's cool. All right. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this, let me know what you think about the majors. We're gonna go to the minors here in a minute, but again, this is very interesting deck. When you consider what the Fool actually is, it's not just some idiot. So the Aleph, here's a little thing we'll go into real quick. Whenever you see the Aleph in Hebrew, it always has something to do with the divine, the creator, or something like that. So that word is always tied to that in some way. And because I explained a minute ago that it also connects the upper world to the lower world through the Vav, which is right here, the connector, it means that when you think of the word like Adam, Aleph, Daled, Mem, Sophit, and Daled's a doorway, right? Doorway to life through the Mem. When you think about that, then the Fool is really trying to find that connection. And that's why the Fool starts at 0, which it can be anything, and ends up through the world. So the Fool actually travels all the way through the major cards until the end. When you look at it like that, it makes a lot of sense. All right, so now we'll look at the minor cards. And somebody somebody stated in a comment that they liked showing the 4 up. So we're going to do that. Let me raise the camera up a little bit and show the suits side by side as we move through them so we can kind of look at them together rather than just one at a time. So give me a minute here to raise the camera and we'll get started on looking at the minor cards here in a minute. Okay, camera is lowered. Now we're going to go ahead and get started on looking at the minor cards. So we'll first start with the aces. You have the Ace of Wands, which has an Aleph. Remember, that's new possibility, new potential for each of the suits, which is how you get that is through the divine inspiration. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Cups right here. Then we're going to go to the twos. Twos is the house. Interesting. That's the bet. You have the Two of Staffs, the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. The threes. That's the Gimel, and that really is, I believe that's the camel. Basically, moves through the desert. This movement. Three. Isn't that what the threes are about too? Of movement, moving up from a decision after the seed is planted. Now you're allowed to grow. Movement. Okay. Go to the four. Four is all around victory. And the victory gives you the Dalit, which is your doorway. Fives are struggle and contention. Interesting, that's the hay. A little closer. These are a little bit hard to see. So these are the fives. Five of Wands and Five of Swords. We'll compare those to the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Now we're on the six, which is interesting because the six represents harmony, right? Numerology. But I'm not feeling a lot of harmony in these cards. Seven. The eight. The nine. Remember, that's attainment. So think about that. It's right before you complete the cycle, before you're at the 10. So try to use your intuition on these cards and kind of get a feeling what they mean. So this is attainment, which is a 9. And then we're at the 10, which is the Yod. The Divine Spark starts over back at the 1. The Page of Staffs, the Page of Swords. That's wild. Immature Energy. Very interesting artwork on these. The Cups and the Pentacles. Now we're at the Knight, which is all about movement. Knights move quickly. The Queen. Queen of Swords and Prayer. That's an interesting card. The Pentacles, Queens, and Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups does not look very loving, does she? Matches the suit, a lot of emotion. She walked with both death and life. That's a really interesting card. And then the Queen of Pentacles has everything that she needs at peace. And then we go to the King again with the Yod, because the Kings rule with the Divine Spark, and it could be good or bad, but the point is it's supposed to come from the above. The King of Wands. Interesting again, it has a picture of like the Christ on a tree. These are really interesting cards. The King of Swords. King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Huh, that's interesting. If you, again, would like me to dig in these cards a little deeper, let me know. They're really interesting. The Pentacles, the Cups doesn't have image of the Christ, but the Pentacles does. They say that with Cups here and Pentacles does, which is right there on the side. A lot of letters in here as well. Interesting. Anyway, that is this deck. And again, I think it's called the Wisdom Tarot or something like that. Wisdom Chariot Tarot. Yeah, Wisdom Chariot Tarot. And I will definitely put a link in the description below because I did get on Etsy. Now, to shuffle the deck, again, the cards do feel rather thick. So they actually feel really good in hand. And they're actually a pretty thick deck as well. They're stiff, so once they break in, they'll shuffle nice. But I'm a little worried because that one card on top had a little bit of wear on it, and I didn't even open that box hardly at all. I barely touched the top of the box, so just must have been the way it was packaged. Anyway, they do shuffle very nice. I think they'd be very fun and interesting in a reading as well. Okay. Should we pull a card and kind of see any kind of message or vibe we can pick up on? What do you say? Since I shuffled them, might as well. All right. What kind of message can the universe tell us with this interesting deck for today? What kind of message can you give us, universe? What do you want to tell everybody that's watching this? All right. We have strength. Now for this, I'm going to go to the book just to kind of see what it has to say. But to me, strength's all about inner strength, inner self. You overcome all because it comes from within. And you have the 5, which is struggle, and the 3, creativity, communications. So when you have your strength with you, you overcome all adversity through your creative endeavors or your communication. And that's your strength. Strength through all things. Now in the book, what does it say strength is about? Let's see. 47. I was off by 1. Okay, so this card, it says, it's the image of the strength card primarily portrays the concept of relying on God, creator of the divine of the universe. The left of the card shows Jesus. That's interesting. I didn't see that. Instructing his disciples in the Lord's Prayer. Okay, that's interesting. On the right of the card, there's a woman praying. Is that her over here? No, it's maybe here. And being strengthened by an angel. The top of the card shows God responding to prayer by sending the Holy Spirit in the form of a dove to instruct or strengthen the person who prayed. In the center is a tree leading up to heaven. That must be right here. Which is interpreted, or which I would interpret as a tree of life, Kabbalah, providing us with a means to understand God in association with the gift of the Holy Spirit, which is right above it. Below the tree, right here. Below the tree is a person holding an anchor. Oh, right there. There she is holding the anchor. See that? Person holding the anchor. That's interesting. Anchors are often used as symbols relating to being grounded or standing firm in one's convictions. I kind of see it too in the Lenormand deck. The anchor's all about, being firm, solid, held in position, cannot be wavered, pushed, will not be wavered. Did I say that right? The top of the anchor is a cross, and the bottom contains the hooks that sailors use to hold their ground. Okay. In front of the person is a bowl containing 2 objects. Since the image focuses on the Lord's Prayer, I would interpret the item on the left of the bowl as our daily bread, and the item on the right could either be a list of sins. Example, forgive us our trespasses, so we forgive those who trespass against us. Or it could represent Scripture, which is also a staple for Christians equal to our daily bread. The image is about trusting and building a relationship with God, who will provide you with the strength to overcome your adversities you face in the world, not your adversity. Overcome the adversities you face in the world. That's actually pretty interesting. So, this deck, I guess, you could do for spiritual work or soul work to kind of get an idea how you're going to connect to the divine, to the creator, to God, to, whatever it is that you connect with. And this deck would really help with that, help at least get you thinking about it. You don't have to know all the imagery in the deck, but just kind of look at the picture and let your intuition guide you. You can really feel that when you really study the cards. What I'm curious about is what the A means on her apron. See right there? You can see it right there. She has a letter A. Now, it could mean the Greek alpha, right? Alpha and omega. Alpha, the beginning, the first. Has a bunch of writing as well on back here. I can't really make it out on the banners. Anyway, very interesting deck. And if you like this deck, let me know in the comments below. So drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if it even resonated with you. I'm not sure it resonates with me or not, but I do find it interesting. I am going to use it. I'll probably use it, I'm thinking, like in my short videos, my daily messages or something like that. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. I don't know if I'd do it like in a full reading or not, at least not yet, but I'll do a couple readings of my shorts with this. So if you do like it, let me know. Give me your thoughts, your comments. And if you're first time here, thank you for joining me and watching this video. Please subscribe so you can see more of these excellent, cool video reviews of these different decks. And anyway, tell my amazing followers who subscribe, thank you as well, because without you, Word with a Twist Tarot would not exist. I've said that time and time again, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Anyway, all my beautiful people who are watching, thank you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Okay, bye everybody. Bye-bye.